Hi, I just finished testing the sleep tracking functions on this brand new Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 for the last 7 days. This is a function I was particularly excited to try out because sleep is so important for your long-term health and also for my daily functioning. And yes, the watch really did help me to sleep better. I'll tell you how exactly later in the video. And by the way, this video is not sponsored in any way, and I bought the watch with my own money. Later, we'll also find out what my sleep animal is. That is something the watch assigns to you after tracking your sleep for at least 7 days. But let's start at the beginning of my first week of sleep tracking. On day 1, having never owned a smartwatch or any other device that can track your sleep, I first had to find out how you actually do it. And it was very easy. Just make sure the Samsung Health app is installed and set up on the phone your watch is paired with, and then also make sure that you're actually wearing the watch during your sleep. And that's it. The watch automatically registers when you fall asleep, when you wake up, etc., as long as it is on your wrist while you're asleep. I do recommend one additional setting though, which is called sleep mode. To turn this on, go to settings, then modes and routines, then click on sleep. Then click on when to start this mode, then on sleep schedule, and here you can set your sleep schedule that you want to stick to. I set mine from 11:30 p.m. to 8:30 a.m. and then saved it. Done. Now the standard setting is that the sleep schedule is active every day and the alarm is turned on. You can also turn sleep mode on and off manually without using the sleep schedule. But I do recommend using the sleep schedule to help you make your sleep times more consistent. Now I show you how to manually turn on and off sleep mode on your watch. It's very simple. If you go down and click on turn on manually, you can choose how and when sleep mode turns off, or if you want it to stay on until you turn it off manually. During the night, automatic sleep tracking has worked pretty much flawlessly for me, and I was pretty impressed by that. I'm sure that's pretty normal for any kind of smartwatch these days, but it's my first time experiencing it firsthand. Hi, I'm editing the video, it's late at night, and I realized that I was a little bit too positive. So 2 quick things. Number 1, smartwatches are not medical devices, so if you have a serious health issue, you should not depend on them. And number 2, I remember that, sleep latency, I don't think it's been accurately measured by this watch. This says I've been asleep after 5 minutes roughly every day. I don't think that's true. I think it takes me longer to fall asleep. Maybe because I'm half asleep, my concepts of time and space are a little bit fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure that I am right and it took me longer. I thought I should add these. And now back to my past me, who also has one more thing to add. A few days ago, I fell asleep on my sofa. That is something that's very unusual for me. And it was very, very brief. I mean, I don't know exactly, but just maybe 5 minutes max. And the watch didn't track it. There's a bunch of reasons that I think explain why that happened. But I think if sleep mode had been on, it would have been tracked. Now, in my opinion, on both phone and the watch, Samsung is doing a really good job of displaying all the different sleep measurements. On your watch, you always only see the last night of sleep that you tracked. We will switch over to the phone now, because here we have a few options to customize our sleep tracking. I turned all the advanced measurements on, but only ended up using snore detection for 1 night. The reason being, I already have a snore detector. My wife. Sorry about that. There is actually one important detail here, which explains why I only tracked my snoring for 1 single night. If you go into the snore detection settings, you see that there are 2 options, always and once. If this is set to always, your phone will only record your snoring during the night if it is connected to a cable and charging. If you set it to once, that is not the case. With this setting on, the phone doesn't need to be charging during the night to record your snoring. I have no idea why this is the case. Anyways, while we're here, you also have the option to record the audio of your snoring, and you can tell your phone for how long to store it. The app gives you some really interesting and helpful information about your sleep, some of which I did not know about at all. I'm not going to go into any detail here, but I do recommend reading through everything at least once. The watch even has a sleep coaching feature where, based on your specific sleep animal, it coaches you over several weeks to help you improve your sleep. It looks really cool. Let me know in case you would be interested in a video specifically about that function. Now let's finally come to my sleep results and how the watch actually helped me improve my sleep. Now the first thing I wanted to do after 7 days of sleep tracking is to find out my sleep animal. Finally, and here it is. I'm a penguin. All parameters have to be right for me to sleep properly, like temperature, the noise level, the brightness, my wife turning around, my own stress level, etc., etc. And only if most of these or even all of these parameters are met, then I sleep very well. And unfortunately, even a single night of bad sleep can whack me out of balance. And that almost happened during this last week. On day 1, as we've already seen, I started out very strong with a score of 91. The only slight weakness was my restfulness. This is how much you move around while you sleep and how often you wake up. Day number 2, even better. This time my slight weakness was my sleep latency. I've already talked about sleep latency and the measurements. Apparently on the second night I fell asleep after only 3 minutes. That must be a personal record, I think. Well, we come to day number 3, the day that almost threatened my excellent week of sleep. Only 78, and what happened? Everything went down almost, but especially restfulness. I went to bed too late, and I think that affected my whole night of sleep. I woke up several times during the night, and for longish periods too. Here you can see that my sleep started a lot later than the first 2 nights. Anyways, I recovered quickly. I went to bed on time the next night, and then I got the best score of the whole week, a 96. Excellent in every single category. And no, your eyes are not deceiving you. I repeated this feat the next night. The second to last night, I received what now felt like a pedestrian 93, and then the last night a 91. I slightly creeped back to going to bed a little bit later in the last 2 nights, and so my scores dipped slightly. Or at least that's my working theory of what happened. And this is where we finally come to how and why exactly the watch helped me to sleep better. The first reason is quite simple, I think. When you've tracked your sleep, the watch tells you what your weak spots are, and then you can take countermeasures and react to them. So in my case, this one night that kind of almost threw everything out of balance in my first week of sleep tracking, I went to bed quite a bit later than the other nights. And yeah, the watch told me that. I obviously also knew that, but the watch telling me that kind of reinforced the fact that this is important. And knowing that already, but the watch also telling me that, that made me go to bed early again the next day, and then I slept well again. It's just a little reminder or nudge or reinforcement or whatever you want to call it, but that can make the difference between you being on YouTube for another hour or not and going to bed early. And there are some sleep measurements that are a little bit more complex and that you might not know about before you start sleep tracking with your watch. And these are also things that you can then react to. So it doesn't have to be as simple as go to bed earlier. The second way the Galaxy Watch 8 helped me to sleep better might be slightly less obvious. It's gamification. Especially after starting out with a stellar sleep score of 91 during my first night of sleep tracking, I wanted to get another high score during the next night and then the next night, and then I wanted to keep my streak going, and I even got a medal from my watch, so yeah, that stroked my ego. Along with other things like telling me that I'm 30 percentage points better than other people in my age group. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty motivating. And of course, I also wanted to brag about my high sleep scores in this video, so there's that. I think you get the point. Gamification means extra motivation, which leads to more discipline, and that in turn helps you to keep up your good sleep habits. And that is the secret sauce. So in summary, a watch such as the Galaxy Watch 8 can help you learn good sleep habits and also help you implement them. But just to be clear, this is all not magic, actually far from it. It's just one of the many adjustments you can make in your life to try and improve your sleep. And I have proof that this doesn't necessarily turn you into a perfect sleeper right away, because I'm filming this video a little bit later. It takes me quite long to make these videos. So, one sec. This terrible sleep scores from last night. So, yeah, I went to bed too late again. The discipline was gone. I had an almost perfect sleep score for this video, and then I let it slide immediately. But then again, maybe without the watch, I would have gone to bed even later. I mean, who knows? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like if you liked. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye for now.